If you're a regular on my channel, you probably saw my video on Minecraft animations, and how it's gone to complete shit. Well, unsurprisingly, the second that video came out, my recommendations were pretty messed up. The con of this was getting recommended Minecraft Monster School videos, but the pro was getting recommended videos that I haven't even seen since I was a wee little lad.
Huge zombies. My friend is over there. You can see his body, and he's not able to move. And he can't look around or anything. Arrows are falling from the sky. The zombies follow me on the train track. Run!
Man, I miss watching 2011's Minecraft goes in 240p quality. Good times. Anyways, I was getting recommended a certain genre of videos called Minecraft horror movies. And seeing how I already talked about Minecraft animations, and that barely anyone is talking about this genre, except for, well, maybe this guy, I think it's only fair that we review Minecraft horror movies together, and maybe go on a little nostalgia joyride in the process. To understand Minecraft horror movies, we also have to understand what a machinima is.
No, not that machinima!
According to the Urban Dictionary, one of the most reliable dictionaries out there, a machinima is the art of using a pre-rendered gaming engine and making it into a film. The word is derived from machine and cinema.
What the f-
Basically, a movie filmed in a video game. With that being said, we're gonna review 3 different Minecraft horror machinimas by 3 different content creators. Maybe you've seen them, maybe you haven't. Either way, we're gonna review them right now. Strap right in, folks. We're gonna take a look at Minecraft horror movies. Happy Halloween. The first Minecraft horror movie we'll be reviewing is, Minecraft horror movie. Okay. The plot here is very easy to follow. Steve here is tired from working his 9-to-5 minimum wage job and takes a vacation to a house in the woods. But upon settling in on his first night, he finds out that the house is haunted. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The entire video is just Steve going around his house to try and avoid the things haunting him. Added an MP3 of some guy heavily breathing into a microphone.
Oh god, man, this is so scary. There's gonna be ghosts around here.
And have your main character explore an entire Minecraft world in a slow and painful amount of time. And I mean, he really explores this world. 1 second this guy's just in his house, next he's in his basement, suddenly he's in a cave with lava, and now he's on top of a lighthouse? What? I just summed up an entire 14, almost 15-minute video right here, and we can quite literally just move on to the next machinima. But we're not halfway for the 8-minute mark, even though I don't get ads. So allow me to explain Minecraft horror movie. It starts off with our default character waking up as he goes to his job as a fry cook. There, Steve overworks himself, cooking food for customers that give off a bad vibe based on their skin choice.
My name is not important.
Hey, quick update from future me here. As I was editing this and going back looking at the video, turns out the main character does have a name. His name is Martin, and for some reason they spelled it with a 4 instead of an A. I didn't really notice that the first time because I thought the creator was giving like a special shout out to the person that was playing as the main character. Why is his name spelled like that? I don't fucking know. I mean, the creator could have been 7 or 8 when he made this. But yeah, I just want to get that out of the way first. So every time I'm saying Steve, I'm actually referring to Martin. That was my mistake on my part. Alright, back to the video. Needing a break, he decides to go to this house out in the middle of the woods after seeing an ad on his way home.
Raid, Shadow.
He arrives to the home on a rainy night, fit with thunderstorms. Steve settles in and seems to be enjoying himself as he goes to his kitchen and watches Nikaka Avocado mukbangs on his TV.
Okay. Forgive you. I gotta take for you. That's what you get. That's what he gets for him. That's what you get! That's what you get! How dare you! How dare
In reality, he was playing games like Skyrim. Hooray. But yeah, I mean, things look pretty fine here, and Steve looks like he's enjoying himself. However, his enjoyment wouldn't last. As Steve heads to sleep, the tone suddenly shifts. He wakes up, startled and now heavily breathing, and seemingly going around his house, almost as if something's following him. Scared, he moves out of the house and into this, I don't know, a shed? He waits it out for a little bit before finally returning, and we now see what got him so startled in the first place: a teleporting zombie. Steve gets scared enough to head to his basement, where he finds a secret tunnel?
Huh?
Why is that even there in the first place? Isn't this supposed to be a getaway house? Anyways, Steve heads down the Underground Railroad, and we finally get to the main part of the entire video. Steve starts to walk. And walk. And walk some more. More walking. Then he goes the wrong way, and walks some more. He tries going up these pistons, but he falls out of it and walks some more. This is basically the entirety of the machinima. It's just some wage slave walking around in these hidden tunnels and then coming back up to walk around again. That's all it is. And before some of you complain, saying how, oh, I just can't take a slow scene, I'm too impatient. Brother, in my last video, I was sucking dick about how putting a JPEG on screen for 1 minute straight was genius. Don't fucking tell me I can't appreciate slow pacing. I love slow pacing, alright? I think it can be very suspenseful, which is probably what the creator here was trying to do. But you know what I don't like? Boring pacing. It's just drawn out to be boring. Steve is able to make it back to the surface and spots what looks to be a lighthouse. At least to me. He climbs up the structure and stares across the beautiful land, until he turns around and spots HEROBRINE. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of HEROBRINE in these Minecraft videos, and for good reasons that I can understand, as at the time the HEROBRINE creepypasta was at its peak. What I don't understand is, what was the point of the zombies? You can see them at the start of this walkathon, but then towards the end they just disappeared. What happened to them? Seeing HEROBRINE makes Steve jump into the water, and then he returns to the house?
Huh?
Listen, I'm not smart. But if I was getting stalked by a bunch of zombies and HEROBRINE, I would probably leave the scene. With that being said, why is Steve going back into the house? There is absolutely nothing in there for him. Get back on the minecart and get the fuck out of there. Oh no, you're not gonna do that. Instead, you're just gonna sleep the night in a haunted house. What? We cut to the morning and it's still raining. Oh god, it's like New York. Oh, and look, Steve is actually leaving the house. He comes out of the house unharmed, and yeah, I guess nothing bad.
Oh my god.
That was Minecraft Horror Movie. Was it anything exciting? Not really. Minecraft Horror Movie was made by a channel called Minecrafted. As for his content, Minecrafted has worked on other Minecraft videos, just with a more comedic tone. However, he has released a few more horror machinimas afterwards. It was released 10 years ago, in September 8th, 2012, and over the years has garnered 30 million views. Unfortunately, the view count really does not show the quality. Minecraft Horror Movie is a nothing burger. It's not bad, but it's also not good. It's a mediocre slow fest that barely has anything going on with an inconsistent story. That's about it. But yeah, let's head over to our next one. The next video we'll be going over is Minecraft horror movie, The History of HEROBRINE, and as the title suggests, this Mishima is about HEROBRINE. History of HEROBRINE somewhat follows the same format as our previous Mishima. It's got HEROBRINE and it also changes perspectives every now and then, but it also has text on screen, so that way we know what the characters are communicating. And it also has a Minecraft world that is actually worth exploring. The cinematography in this Mishima is also alright. The establishing shots actually look really nice. However, it does have some tendencies to direct to random objects. While this isn't exactly the best Mishima out of the three, it was still pretty enjoyable watching it. But I do have my problems, and instead of telling you right away, I'm gonna show you. History of HEROBRINE starts off with our two main characters walking through a forest. Oh my god, behind you! Our characters arrive at their destination. However, they're not given any specific names. So, for the sake of being unfunny, I'll name the guy on the left Cameraman and the guy on the right Hoodie Steve. Cameraman and Hoodie Steve are friends, I think. Hoodie Steve goes to rent a house, and has a pretty decent interaction with this guy here. Man, I hope nothing goes wrong. While Hoodie Steve is buying the house, Cameraman goes to the house. Wait, what? The two meet up and have some fun on the town.
Snap! This one is going into my cringe compilation!
Worn out, they decide to go back home. There they head to bed, with Hoodie Steve sleeping on the top floor and Cameraman sleeping in the basement. Also, this is how he sleeps. Fucking stupid. He looks uncomfortable. It looks like he needs some help. Then they head to sleep. Except sounds of zombies breaking down doors alerts the cameraman, but he just heads back downstairs. What's this? Oh my god, it's HEROBRINE, and he's about to blow up the bridge! Now that we have an appearance of HEROBRINE, I think I should add that every time he appears, he makes the same noises as Slenderman. There's actually multiple usage of Slenderman's audio throughout this entire Mishima. For instance, when Cameraman and Hoodie Steve went to sleep and it turned to night, you can actually hear the soundtrack from Slenderman the 8 Pages, and you can even hear a page being collected. Now, as to why the creators just used Slenderman's characteristics for HEROBRINE and just not the character of Slenderman, I don't know. But because of this, we're gonna refer to HEROBRINE as Slenderman from now on. The explosion is loud enough to wake up Hoodie Steve, and he heads downstairs to Cameraman, who somehow didn't hear a giant-ass explosion? How? Oh, and it's also suddenly morning, despite being night just a few seconds ago. We're shown a couple establishing shots afterhand, showing that not only was the bridge damaged, but so was the rest of the town. Cameraman starts recording, and the perspective changes to first person. Him and Hoodie Steve decide to go around trying to find out what actually happened. It's practically a ghost town, with fog covering the entire area, buildings being destroyed, and barely, if not no one in sight. After searching a few houses, they find security cameras and take them back home. They watch as zombies break into a bar and kill Dr. Traoris. Snapping back to reality, Hoodie Steve tries going to sleep when he sees Slenderman. He goes outside with Cameraman, but they don't find Slenderman anywhere, so they go back in. Hoodie Steve decides to put a camera in the corner of his room to record anything that might go down. The next morning, cameraman is questioning Hoodie Steve in a scene that replicates paranormal activity. What in the fuck is going on? Hoodie Steve explains that the camera caught an object outside of the house that suddenly popped up out of nowhere. They decide to go check on this Halloween looking house and head right inside. Immediately, things seem abnormal, as a bunch of zombie pigmen appear out of nowhere. Heading downstairs, they find that thing from It's Dylan's HEROBRINE documentary. And after a quick transition for the corner, the room changes. The fire lighting the monument is now gone. The stairs leading above are also gone, but the only thing that appeared is a corridor down the corner. Hoodie Steve tells cameraman to go in by himself so that he can get what the sign says at the end on tape. What a bitch. Cameraman goes in and finds the sign saying, "I'm watching you." How spooky.
Oh my god, it's Slender Man!
Cameraman walks out and heads back upstairs, while Hoodie Steve is having a seizure in the corner. They head back when, oh no! Their house is gone! No! I know this is supposed to be scary and all with the "you are never safe" sign, but I can't help but imagine HEROBRINE, I mean Slenderman, using block commands to delete a whole Minecraft house. With very little options, Hoodie Steve and cameraman find two houses, both with separate beds, and they decide to sleep for the night and would try and get out by tomorrow. I don't know how they would do that considering the bridge is gone, and apparently so is everyone else, but yeah, sure, whatever. Unfortunately for the two, it would be their last nights, as Slenderman comes in and presumably kills them, but not before giving us one last stare down. That was History of HEROBRINE. It was okay, but definitely not the best. History of HEROBRINE was created by Mafia Boy HD, and was released on August 20th, 2012, just 19 days before Minecraft Horror Movie, making it possibly the first Minecraft horror machinima. For over 10 years, the video has garnered 3.3 million views, as well as 4 sequels continuing the story. If you want to see the remaining parts of the franchise, you can do so on TSD Curse's YouTube channel. There they have all 4 sequels and even a remaster that was released last year. History of HEROBRINE was an alright experience to watch. The world was a lot more bigger, instead of being secluded in a forest. It had a pretty good production, and the framing was surprisingly competent. I mean, big ups to the guy that screen recorded this. However, it also has a lot of flaws. The main one being HEROBRINE himself, who is just Slenderman in this version. I also just don't know the reason why HEROBRINE is trying to stalk cameraman and Hoodie Steve. You could say he was haunting them because they came into that haunted house, but he was well on their tail even before they reached the town. So what the fuck is his problem? Who knows, maybe the sequels have answers, but that'll be for another day. For now, let's move on to our next and final entry. Hotel Overlook is our last Minecraft horror machinima of the video. And unlike the previous 2 entries, this one doesn't have HEROBRINE. Instead, it's about 2 guys that check into a hotel for the night in order to avoid rain. Upon waking up the next morning, only one of them is left and the other is gone. And when he talks to hotel staff about his friend, they say that he just came alone. It's now up to the main character to figure out what is going on here. Actually, wait, that sounds like a good concept. I'll say this right now, Hotel Overlook was probably my favorite out of the 3. This had better pacing and story than Minecraft Horror Movie or History of HEROBRINE, with barely any flaws I found. And I genuinely very much enjoyed this machinima, and as I talk about it, I hope you do too.
Let's go!
The video begins with 2 guys. The man that looks like your average Israeli is Ryan Pugh, and the person in the sweater is Bior Boris. They seem to be going somewhere until it starts to rain, and Bior spots a hotel in the distance. The 2 head in and are greeted by the hotel's only known staff member, Mr. Jury. Mr. Jury directs Ryan and Bjorn to the guest book, and the two put their names in. Oh, and look at that. Notch checked in at one point.
No, YOLO.
Mr. Jury brings the two to their room and leaves, while Ryan remarks how creepy he was. Also, I just want to bring up how incredible this shot is. This is probably my favorite shot in the entire video, with how slow the frame is moving towards Ryan and Bjorn. Ryan and Bjorn head to sleep. However, and you already know how this is gonna go along, their sleep doesn't last. After hearing a loud noise, Bjorn wakes up to find Ryan gone. Bjorn checks a few rooms, but doesn't see Ryan. He calms down, thinking that Ryan must have moved to a different room to go to sleep. We cut to the morning, and oh, there's that thumbnail.
Oh my god.
Bjorn wakes up, and Ryan still hasn't come back. He heads downstairs to ask Mr. Jury if he'd seen him, but he becomes confused. Mr. Jury tells Bjorn that there isn't a Ryan Pewd, and that Bjorn came by himself. Bjorn insisted that he came along with Ryan last night, and pointed out their names written in the guest book, but Ryan's name quite literally disappeared. Mr. Jury keeps telling Bjorn that he came alone last night, and Bjorn gets upset and leaves. Bjorn returns to his room, and finds Ryan's bed gone. We get shots of Bjorn walking around the outside of Hotel Overlook, searching for Ryan, but unfortunately, he finds nothing. Once it starts pouring again, Bjorn goes back inside and finds this room that I'm left to believe is an attic of some sort. Oh, and look, more first-person POVs. Bjorn looks around the old attic and turns on a light, when suddenly, Mr. Jury appears.
You fell for the oldest trick in the book. A goddamn white woman with that flavor of love, delicious donkey booty. Goddamn it, you fell for it. You goddamn baboon booty, lip jigaboo, some bitch over there licking your goddamn chops. Think you was gonna slide in her goddamn DMs. Well, I'll tell you what, it ain't a white woman. It's a white man.
He asks Bjorn why he's here, and Bjorn keeps telling him that he's looking for Ryan, but Mr. Jury is still confused. They leave the attic, and Bjorn continues his search around other rooms. Bjorn then finds bloodstains across the floor, leading to some trapdoors in the corner of the room, which takes him to a hidden basement. Downstairs, he finds this hallway with various doors. I'm sure it was nothing. Bjorn goes for one of these doors, and walks by this passageway with water below them. He then finds a lever that when flicked would reveal lava underneath the floor. Yet he still hasn't found Ryan, so he goes to another door. So I'm gonna assume that this was the person or thing that we saw before passing by Bjorn. Why didn't he attack him? And why did he move over here? Bjorn is able to escape and exit out of the hotel. Except, he doesn't, because as he's about to escape, he finds one last place that he hasn't searched, and goes over to it. I think the most important thing to do here is escape with your life, but sure, go ahead. I guess Bjorn is just a dedicated friend. He's better than Hoodie Steve.
You probably think I'm not a nice person.
Mr. Jury is looking overhead, and him and his minion leave to go after Bjorn. Bjorn enters the crypt to find a bunch of mutilated bodies, as well as two graves belonging to him and Ryan, with his grave being empty. He opens up Ryan's grave, and finds him as a skeleton. Bjorn tries running out, but sees Mr. Jury and his minion coming right after him. Also, for some reason this scene is either in slow motion, or the rain is just giving it low frame rates. Bjorn jukes Mr. Jury and the minion, and goes off running. However, the gates to the hotel are locked, so he heads down these stairs. He ends up in the basement somehow, and goes to that room from before. Once he reaches the end, he pulls the anticlimactic lever, and the minion stupidly falls into lava.
Man, I'm dead.
Bjorn yells at Mr. Jury, who's still alive, that he killed Ryan. Mr. Jury simply says that he didn't, walks away, and refuses to elaborate. Bjorn finds another anticlimactic lever and climbs out of the basement, surviving the horrors of Hotel Overlook. However, that's not the end of it. The frame zooms into the windows of the hotel to show Mr. Jury watching as Bjorn escapes. And, well, I'll just let it play out. The video ends with the only thing that I have to mention is that as the credits roll, we see that Ryan Pugh didn't play himself. He played as Mr. Jury. Hotel Overlook was made by Balgier Dan Forst. Forst? I'm probably mispronouncing that. It was released on May 11th, 2013, and garnered over 3.8 million views. He's made other Minecraft content, such as Strange Days in Minecraft, and these videos go all the way back to early Minecraft. How early? This was back then when boats didn't have paddles. Hotel Overlook excelled greatly because of its cinematic shots, its amazing sound design, and the slow pacing, which actually made sense and wasn't there to waste time. With how ridiculous Minecraft horror movies may sound, these guys put a lot of effort into it. I looked a lot deeper into what was going on with the creators, and it turned out they actually uploaded another Minecraft horror movie called The Black Hole Legacy. I also found out that Boris is uploading on his own channel as a game developer, and he's already made a game called Duga. He's also developing another game called Omicron 35, and the concept actually sounds interesting.
Omicron 35 is a game about paranoia, loneliness and isolation. Please note that the development started prior to the global pandemic. You as a player are situated alone in an icy desert. You have been deployed here to observe and measure weather changes, and the highlight of your repetitive days are when you report your measurements to another outpost, Tower 1, over the radio. On the very first evening you take control of the player, you're told your replacement observer will be delayed again.
I'm really excited to see where this takes off, and if you're excited too, he updates regularly on his subreddit and Twitter. I'll link them down in the description. And that's the entire video. I gotta say, it was pretty fun looking back at the videos that I used to watch as a kid. I kind of want to talk about this, mostly because I haven't seen that many people on the platform talk about Minecraft horror movies, despite the fact that they definitely have viewers. Will I ever do this again? Honestly, I don't know. If you guys enjoyed it and you want to see another video, do me a favor and hit that dislike button down below. I'd also like to give a shout out to ATHEGOD. They're a long-time subscriber to this channel. They were able to help me make the thumbnail to this video. So, thank you, ATHEGOD, and go ahead and subscribe to them. Alright, I'll see you in another 2 to 3 weeks. Goodbye.